Good morning, everyone. I'm Mildred Akad from Sultan Kudarat State University, Sultan Kudarat, Philippines. I'm glad to see you all in this Zoom, and I am happy that you invited me to talk about the lagging to lead, the role of higher and advanced teacher education in transforming underperforming regions. I will give you the presentations on where I am located now. So in this part of the map, the Philippines is located in the archipelago wherein we are still divided into three major islands, the Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. The pink one is the place where I am presenting now my paper, and I would like to also to introduce the SOX, or this is the Soxargen region, or the region 12 in South Central Mindanao, which is the Sultan Kudarat. So SOX is the shortcut for South Cotabato, Sultan Kudarat, Sarangani, and General Santos City. This is the area where this location is found. If you have seen our provincial capital, this is patterned from a Malaysian architecture, wherein this is now the capital of Sultan Kudarat, found in Isulan, Sultan Kudarat. And this along the highway is our university, wherein we are offering the graduate school and the teacher education program in the region. So my question is, what will you do if you have reached internationalization, yet your province is still at the lowest level of educational quality and economic status? So this is the problem or the challenge when the question is, what's the role of the university in improving the lives of the people in the community? So this begins the problem of the study, wherein in the national situation of the country, the Philippines, I am proud of Filipino, but the problem here is 62% of high school teachers teaching in the Department of Education is having a major field of specialization away from what is being studied in college. So these are the challenges faced by the department, wherein these are all the causes of the low performance in the different assessment. In one of the studies, we have also report from the EDCOM, wherein the data shows that about half of the science teachers, in fact, did not major in science in college, and in physics, 98% did not have a background in that specialization. So another study is also presented that literacy must be at the heart of our education reform, according to our Secretary of the Department of Education. In an interview, DepEd has just finished its literacy remediation program from our key informant that said part of the learning recovery plan, wherein the low emerging learners from grade 3 were given already interventions and intensive literacy instruction from May 13 and to June 6 po, according to the principal two, but which we have interviewed. So 18 million Filipinos finish high school despite being functionally illiterate. This means they cannot or hardly understand what they have read. And in the mathematics, same with the situation, wherein DepEd, CHED, or the Commission on Higher Education should review proposed senior high school electives, college subjects to ensure they are implementation ready. This is according to the report. During the interview, there are situations wherein the principal interviewed had said this year on the go, they are now on preparing the matatag curriculum for grade 2, 3, 5, and grade 8, wherein the focus of the subject is to reduce the mother tongue, but this is already a medium of instruction and not already a subject. So focus also the good manners and right conduct, the values restoration, and that is now the shift of our educational system in the 21st century, skills to align with the international standards, and emphasis on the values and peace education, according to the respondent. There are also studies that saying that the government have already hired 10,000 non-teaching positions as one way of focusing to the classroom scenario or improvement of the classroom, aside from the paperwork wherein that is already entrusted to the non-teaching personnel. So CHED now, the Professional Regulation Commission, and the Commission on Higher Education has already initiated a MOA signing to address the misalignment in licensure exam to resolve teachers' specialization mismatch. Now, if you have seen studies also in the EDCOM and also in the picture wherein the teacher is being carried out by the four men in order to transport her in the other side of the river to teach the subject. And these are the examples wherein 25% of total class days are spent at home due to heavy rains, flood, and other natural calamities. So sad to note that if we have 188 school days in one calendar year, at least 50 days of that is disturbed by the national natural calamities. Another situation is the elementary school congestions hotspots, wherein our province, the Region 12, is still part of the most congested schools in the country, to include the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. If you have seen our performance in the different assessment in the PISA or professional level scientific literacy, among the lowest in the country is Region 12 in the 2018 and 2022. Then in the national achievement test, we are still below low profession or proficiency level. Our education research in the deep ed had raised into 200% achieved, wherein it doubles, where in fact that the budget of the government for research is intended for those funded by BURP, but there are teachers who are finishing their research even in their personal expense. As to the SKSU, Sultan Kudarat State University licensure examination for teachers, we are performing well, 96.97% for the first takers in the last 2024 licensure examination. If you have examined, we utilize the convergent mix method in designing this study, integrated both quantitative and qualitative data sources to ensure robust triangulation and in-depth interview, in-depth insight, according to Criswell and Plano Clark in 2018. So quantitative methods is pertaining to the analysis on the program for international student assessment or the PISA in 2018 and 2022, the National Achievement Test or the NAT in 2024, and the licensure examination for teachers of the Sultan Kudarat State University. So qualitative components considers the insights were gathered from the recent interviews with deep ed school heads, subject specialists, peer-reviewed studies, institutional reports, and case studies focusing on Sultan Kudarat and Region 12 as a whole. Participants of the qualitative data are seasoned and award-winning educators, educational managers, and school heads. They were chosen based on their actual participation in performance of Region 12. The quantitative and qualitative findings were also integrated through process of triangulation, allowing for the validation of the results and the identification of convergent and divergent themes. Descriptive statistics and proficiency level analysis were used to interpret assessment data, while thematic coding and content analysis were applied to qualitative sources. This comprehensive approach enabled the development of data-driven roadmap for educational transformation tailored to the unique context of underperforming regions like Sultan Kudarat. So this will be our strategy to lead, not just to be lag behind. Now, according to EDCOM report, literacy should be everyone's agenda, not just deep ed. So we are working together with higher education, advanced education, and the basic education to partner with other agencies so that this will be addressed. So Tarana Basa is the teamwork between the DSWD and the Department of Education and the tertiary education, particularly teacher education at Sultan Kudarat State University, to emphasize this is how our teachers in this locality suffer in transforming themselves to arrive in the school or the workplace, wherein the focus of the government is to collaborate with DSWD on some of the projects like Taranabasa tutoring program, which are our tutors from state universities teaching the struggling children in grade 2. But the problem is there are also teachers who are suffering to how to arrive in their schools during calamities. Kasama pa rin po ang National Reading Program, and this is it says that they are including the National Reading Program, National Math Program in the daily schedule of classes according to one respondent participant. This is how studies also shows that efficiency of teleconferencing, a communication modality under low internet spot areas, but they are still struggling with how they will be transported to another place, but they are still enjoying. Okay, so this is how they efficiently and patiently reach the workplace that they wanted to proceed. Now, if you will examine the findings of the ranking about SUC, Sultan Kudarat State University is not really achieving in the entire country, but in the region we are ranked 3. If you will examine the July 2022 results, we are on the 231st rank in the entire country, and we rose 52 slots. In 2023 we are now in the 183 slots, but in 2024 we raised positive 23, and we are now in the 157th rank in the entire country. This is due to the results of licensure examinations, alumni influence, social media on the research results. If you will be visiting the university in the ranking for January 2025, we are still in the rank 3, but we are far behind in the world ranking. And Soksarjin is also counted as the one of the poorest province in the country. But in terms of research, we are excelling in different international conferences in 2025, reaching more than 50 or 60 of our graduate students receive an international recognition in Best Research, Best Paper, and Best Presenter awards. We are providing seminars and trainings for teachers in deep ed for the different competencies like the technology, multimedia presentations, and also in the research writing and publishing. DOST, or the Department of Science and Technology, also is incorporating all their scholarship activities to SKSU, identifying our university as one of the delivering institutions in Master of Arts in Teaching Science, Mathematics, and Information Technology for the teachers in deep ed to be equipped with the latest knowledge in the said field. We are regularly offering the research writing and publishing, and most of our researchers or research professors are attending seminars and have encountered the world's number one most cited author in research, Dr. Criswell. They are emphasizing that the local government unit has a great role to improve the literacy of the senior high school, the kinder, and they are also teaching in the last mile schools, geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas. So if you will ask them, one of the situations that our subject specialist had experienced when their schools was chosen to take the exam in mathematics in the PISA, he said that how could we attain the highest score in mathematics if I can concentrate teaching mathematics because I have to teach the children, the 15-year-old children, how to use the mouse so that they can tick the answer. So these are the sad moments for our students to compete in the other world-class examinations or assessment. Another situation is that the question is in English while our students are answering in English, other countries are using their own language to answer the questions. And they are proposing that this will be another proposal for the transformation of examinations to Filipino, but there is questions on whether mathematics can be transformed or transmuted. During the interview with one principal or participants, she said that the local government unit has a great role in improving the literacy of the nursery and kinder and providing some facilities to augment with the meager resources of the Department of Education. One situation that shared by the subject specialist in mathematics who is our student in the graduate school taking Master of Arts in Teaching Mathematics is that while she is administering here are some of the schools wherein these are considered the geographically isolated and disadvantaged schools, wherein some of our researchers are already producing latest technology and are published in the different journals, and here we are now facing the challenge on how to deliver the subject. So still the focus of our the university is strong research writing and publishing, but they are developed modalities, structure, modeling, differentiation, and assessment by Dr. Plomliano, and also in the idea of a principle saying internal cleansing on all government agencies to avoid corruption is the main reason if we wanted to improve according to a principle 3 participants. Now, looking at all the data, the roadmap for educational transformation in Sultan Kudarat and Region 12 is also envisioned to achieve equitable, high-quality education for all learners in Sultan Kudarat and Sok Sargent, South Cotabato, Cotabato, Sultan Kudarat, Sarangani Province, and General Santos City. These are the composition of the provinces under SOCS or under SOC Sergeant. Closing achievement gaps and fostering sustainable development. These are the roadmap in order to lead and not just lag behind with our educational quality. So first in the roadmap is the investment on infrastructure and resources. This is prioritizing construction and rehabilitation of classroom, laboratories, and libraries, particularly on the potable water, electricity, and digital connectivity in schools, especially the geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas and the last mile schools. Number two stage in the roadmap is to strengthen foundational skills, remedial and alternative learning program targeting early grade and struggling learners are the focus of this stage 2 on the mathematics, reading, and science interventions as basic skills in strengthening this foundation to improve the PISA and NAT performance. Still, the university is focused on the competencies in research, trying to establish a journal or online journal for the university to improve its ranking. Now, the third step is to promote culturally responsive and innovative teaching. So this area to develop and distribute instructional materials that reflect local culture and language and the context. Okay, so in the second stage or in the fourth stage, which is to enhance teacher training and support, the university is already preparing for this program to invest in continuous professional development, like for example training seminars with points to basis for renewal in the licensure exam, focusing on adaptive teaching, curriculum alignment, and technology integration. This would lead to the strengthening of the competencies of teachers and suggesting for localization. This means that the teachers in the particular place will be prioritized to be hired than those teachers in the far places to get inside the inner portion of the place school, traveling 6 hours so to teach in the place on the far flung places. Number five stage is to increase access and equity in the higher education. In the situation in the Philippines during the time of former President Rodrigo Duterte, the college students are already free in the state universities and local colleges, but there are some slots wherein the aspirants could not get inside the university because of the low performance in the entrance examination, and this would be increased by adding more infrastructures and buildings to have access to higher educations, offering more scholarship slots to state universities and colleges. In the Sultan Kudarat State University Graduate School, the priority of the program is also on the culture and arts preservation. Through their studies, some cookbooks are also adopted by the community through a master's thesis. And the number six stage is to foster community and parental involvement. This means that the community will also be improved by offering the andragogy or the teaching of adult learners, because there are some studies that the parents cannot assist their children in learning at home because they themselves cannot read and cannot help their children solve mathematical problem. The number seven stage is the implementation of the data-driven participatory reforms. This refers to the use of research, assessment data, stakeholders' feedback to guide policy curriculum updates and resource allocation. So the graduate school is also initiating some of the projects in the local governments just to assist the community in the far-flung places, acquiring potable water, good source of food, and also some trainings for sustainability. These are projects of the graduate school to assist the places or the participants from the different barangays in the GIDA locations. To summarize the roadmap of the Sultan Kudarat in attaining the quality education, leading the quality education performance, we have stage one, which is to invest in infrastructure and resources. Next is to strengthen foundational skills, then promote culturally responsive and innovative teaching, then enhance teaching skills or teacher training and support, increase access and equity in higher education, foster community and parental involvement, and implement data-driven and participatory reform. These are the roadmap, the 7 stages, wherein it will help Sultan Kudarat and Region 12 lead in the educational setting. Roadmap provides a structured, actionable performance framework for the Soksargen region. It is grounded in the local data and international best practices, offering clear stages and targeted strategies to address persistent barriers and leverage emerging success for sustainable educational improvement. So this is one of our alumnus of the university, the graduate school, who is already a regional director in Davao region, saying that all teachers are reading teachers. No one is excused in helping the children read and understand the context of whatever materials being presented. Another findings of EDCOM, saying that the mass promotion of students or the learners so that the performance of teachers will not be affected had caused the functional illiteracy. Now, because of this, they are proposing the possible solutions. Number one is to the learners assessment, regular assessment. Unlike in other countries that the minors or the young learners are not exposed to tests and assessment, but here in the Philippines, we have to regularly monitor the assessment for children, giving exams and tests, then provide the support to teaching at the right level. We cannot adjust to lower down the topics because of the learner status, but we have to teach based on their level, second year, grade 2, grade 3. Oral program that provides the compensation for teachers to learn or to improve themselves in the graduate programs and in some trainings and augmentations for strategies in teaching. Then, lots of intervention needed, including the grading system to be improved, the policy on transmutation, and including the review of the commitment on OPCR of every school principals and the empowerment for parents how to support their child in the learning at home. So these are the key performances that we need to address, and the red ones, the teachers training with CPD or credit points, adaptive strategies are the very important thing that the state university as the teacher education institution and the graduate school to address this scholarship outreach policy reform and higher education, including the data-driven reform, user research data feedback, for continuous improvement. These are the activities that we are having ongoing activities for the last 3 years, empowering all the professionals in the different field of specialization, and these graduate school students from the Department of Education who pass the principal's test together with the existing school administrators, parents, and learners together with local government units are working hard and smart to improve the quality delivery in the region, and their services will be increasing. In partnership with the initiative of the Department of Science and Technology, Philippine Textile Research Institute, or the DOST-PTRI, to fill the gap in the textile production in transforming the vast resources of pineapple and banana through the Natural Textile Fiber Innovation Hub. The Department of Education, together with the Department of Science and Technology and SKSU, had united to produce quality yarn for in uniform of the students and government employees.